On Sunday, the Scots took on the defending and reigning Rugby World Cup champions in the Springboks. It was a tight game throughout the first half and slightly into the second half, with the Boks taking a 6-3 half-time lead. Boks stretched their advantage in the second half with 2 tries, one from Du Toit and one from Arendse, to have a relatively comfortable win in the end. Now in this video I'm going to be giving each player a score out of 10 and assessing their performance. So looking at the front row, for Scotland really reaped some rewards in the first half at scrum time, which I was really shocked about. They won a penalty or 2 against Kitsoff, Marks and Malherbe. It's probably the hardest front row to win a penalty off, so fair play to them. Schoeman, Turner and Fagerson, I've given Schoeman 6.5, Turner 6, Fagerson 7. I've recently said Fagerson's the most important player to keep fit for the Scottish, considering WP Nel really struggled when he came on in that second half. Schoeman 6.5, he always adds that extra bit around the park, so he deserves a slightly inflated score. Into the second rows, Richie Gray 5.5, Grant Gilchrist 5.5 also. A mixed day out for the locks. Line out time they did struggle. They've got Etzebeth and Mostert to contend with, so look, I do feel they were massively overshadowed. Moving into the back row, things get a little bit better for Scotland. Jamie Ritchie, he's always a great leader, and he showed some real leadership via the way he played. Some amazing tackles from him, so maybe I could have pushed that up to a 7, but he gets a 6.5 from me. Rory Darge, a little bit quiet, didn't go over the ball as much as I'd like, but a solid score with 6.5 nonetheless. Dempsey, now this was the matchup that I was really excited for. Dempsey against Wiese. Now Wiese definitely outperformed Dempsey, but he did punch well above his weight. He's a smaller player, and he did still try and play in a sort of tenacious, aggressive way, and was probably Scotland's one of their best ball carriers. Into the back line, Ben White gets a 6.5. Didn't bring the speed of ball that I'd have liked him to bring, but he wasn't bad, but the speed of ball needed to be much quicker. But that's always hard when you're under pressure at set piece and at ruck time from the box. Russell disappointed in this game. He did show glimpses of looking like he could make things happen, but ultimately his kicks were getting charged down. He was making some relatively poor decisions, but look, maybe 6 is a little bit harsh. I could potentially inflate that to a 6.5 because he did kick a nice 50-22, but you can't base a player's performance just upon a 50-22. So there you go. Into the centres, Tuipulotu, the most disappointing performer. I felt he didn't do an awful lot wrong. He just didn't add anything in the attack in terms of momentum. Constantly getting forced back, so he gets a 5. And defensively he was all right, average as I say, but he never really got his imprint on the game. Jones with a 6. He ran a couple nice lines and looked like if he connected with Russell something could happen, but ultimately nothing prevailed. Darcy Graham on the wing, he did show glimpses of looking like he could tear it up, but he had that one opportunity to give that pass to send Scotland in, potentially a try-scoring opportunity, and unfortunately he didn't pass it. Kinghorn, some really nice kicking from Kinghorn. I really liked that element of his game. One hell of a boot on him, so you get 6.5. Moving into the box, the mighty box. Kitsoff 8, Marks 7, Malherbe 7. Now these scores aren't an awful lot higher than the Scottish scores. Now, that's not necessarily saying that they're only a little bit better. It's just saying based upon what I feel like they can do, I don't feel like they performed as well as they could. Kitsoff was over the ball. His work rate really impressed me. For such a big physical man, I thought he got around the park real nice and tried to jackal. I think he did get a jackal penalty as well. Into the second rows, Etzebeth 7.5, Mostert 7.5. Now, usually Etzebeth overshadows his second row counterpart very easily. Now, I don't feel like this was the case in this game. I felt Mostert really put himself about. The ex-Gloucesterman, I thought he did really well. Some real incredible work rate in defence. Khaleesi 8, Pieter-Steph du Toit 8.5, Jasper Wiese 8.5. Khaleesi was his usual self, absolutely bounced Duhan van der Merwe in that game. Unbelievable from him, really early on as well. Pieter-Steph du Toit got a meat pie, a try to open up the scoring of tries in the second half. A real powerful carry, went in nice and high so he could get latches onto him and forced 3 Scottish players over the line. Wiese really impressed me. With Dwayne Vermeulen on the bench, you know you have to perform, and I felt like he really did do that. Some really good ball carrying from him. despite I think he got stripped at one point, which was surprising. You don't see him get stripped often, but good performance from him. Faf de Klerk 7.5, Le Box 7.5. De Klerk was good as usual. A couple things didn't quite go his way, but he showed a sort of a level head to keep control of the game. Manny Le Boc 7.5. Now look, if it wasn't for his place kicking, this could be a 9, but look, place kicking is still a problem for him and the box, too inconsistent, and if you're going to win the big knockout matches, he has to, simple as he has to tighten that up. Amazing no-look kick. I've never seen a no-look kick like that in rugby, as long as I've watched it. You know, pinpoint accuracy in a tight game, you know, nothing's guaranteed that they're going to win, and yeah, unbelievable. Into the centres, Diolande disappointed me, and so did Kirill. I thought not an awful lot came from the centres. Diolande was getting stripped, knocking the ball on, quite a few errors from him, so I really wasn't impressed. And I think Esterhuizen should start the next game. Jesse Kirill, he just didn't feature an awful lot. When he got the ball, he did look fast and agile, but he simply didn't involve himself in the game too much, in my opinion. Arantxa, 8, took his try really, really nicely. A superb finisher and an exceptional player all round. Very, very, very difficult to stop in terms of his footwork and just raw pace. Willemse 7.5. Not the best performance from him, not the worst. A couple times that the box were caught out with Colby also in terms of field position. They got countered by Finn Russell's right boot in terms of 50-22s, so that's something they want to tighten up on. Colby got an 8 from me. I thought he played really, really well, some really good defensive tackles, and I thought he involved himself quite nicely in the game. Something that I'd like to see Darcy Graham do a little bit more. Get involved, come off your wing, and use your footwork. Just touching on Willemse again, some really nice kicking from him, but he's dangerous on the counter attack. But I didn't feel like he was as good as he could have been. I have really high hopes for Willemse, and I think he's one of the most versatile backs in world rugby. So yeah, good performance from him, but I think there's more to come. So look, that sums up the Scottish versus the Springboks 15s and what score I gave them. Once again, as always, I'll be happy to discuss any of the scores in the comment section down below. They're bound to be different to mine. I have a very different opinion to a lot of people sometimes. So look, I'll reply to every single comment as always. So let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for watching.